Willkommen. This lesson has been crafted to help the speaker affect a pitch-perfect German accent using key vowel and consonant substitutions as applied to a text. The final D becomes T. When D appears at the end of a syllable, it goes from being a voiced D to an unvoiced T. Husband, resolved, abused, find, should, world, concerned. The short O becomes or, possible, knock, boxing, psychological, gotten. In the American accent, the short O is pronounced possible, knock, boxing. But German speakers pronounce the short O with European flavor. Possible, knock, boxing. The final Z becomes S. When Z appears at the end of syllables, it shifts from a voiced Z to an unvoiced S. It is important to note that in English, this Z is often represented by the letter S. For the most part, Germans take the S literally. Women's, choices, decisions, thrashings, because, has, abusers, is, fools, has, recognize. If any of this lesson or demonstration is hard to follow, consider clicking on the About section, where I have included the substitutions and the body of this text. The following is taken from the suspense novel Violent Delights. In this speech, a concerned doctor urges his lovesick friend to extricate himself from a dangerous affair. So, now you want to confront this woman's husband and tell him what has been happening. This must be resolved, you say. Well, that makes sense to me. Chatting with that bully would fall right in line with the rest of your choices. You have a flair for making the worst possible decisions. I can imagine that encounter. You knock on his door and say, "Guten Tag, I think hitting your wife is a really lousy move. In the future, if you wish to punch something, kindly join a boxing gym. P.S. I have been sleeping with your wife." Herr Macho won't care what you think about him and will certainly use whatever you tell him as an excuse to take the thrashings to an entirely new level. It is really up to this woman to remove herself from the situation. Ja, that is easier said than done because of the psychological link she has with her husband. Abused women find themselves drawn to abusers. I know from personal experience, when you place yourself between a battered woman and her man, she will turn on you in a heartbeat, spit on you, vilify you for hurting her poor husband. There's nothing for you to do. You should be looking out for yourself, one of the well-meaning fools of this world. You act like you never went to high school. Early in life, every decent guy learns to recognize that the nice girl he likes always ends up dating Dummkopfs. It has gotten to the point where if I meet a Fräulein who is both pretty and polite, I wonder what kind of idiot she is dating. As far as I am concerned, this affair cannot end soon enough. May I take a moment to share a point of personal pride? Last Monday, I was on the checkout line at the supermarket when an American actor named Brandon introduced himself. To my delight, Brandon told me that when he first arrived in Los Angeles, he had an audition that required an accent and had studied one of my lessons and booked the job. I was quite glad to hear this, as the point of my work is to make this information available to all, and for you to have similar success.